Good afternoon. It is Barbara, the East Coast Dragon Lady, coming to you with my weekly what's going on, um, how's everybody doing, and pull some cards for this week. It's Sunday. It is just after 1, I believe. Yeah, 1. I'm here in the northern part of the United States. I'm literally close to the New Hampshire line. I'm here in Massachusetts, and we got hit with another snowstorm yesterday. So it is also really cold, and it's literally, we've had a week of the real cold, and today it is 15 Fahrenheit, but it feels like -8. What's that in Celsius? So 15 Fahrenheit to see. Oh, it's -9.5 Celsius. So, as the British would say, it's bloody cold. That's when my true inner Brit comes out, when it's cold. So, like, I don't know, minus. So, what would -7 Fahrenheit to -21. So the wind chill is -21 Celsius. So for all of you that are not in the United States, yeah, it's more than bloody cold. I went out to the trash after they cleared the parking. I also posted on Facebook literally out of my living room window, it's piled up that I'm soon not going to be able to see out of the window. Some of that was from the roof. Last weekend they were shoveling our roofs and getting rid of ice dams, but now I've got icicles I can see out of my bedroom window, so there's always something. So I hope everybody has had a good week and a good weekend. If you're a football fan, it's today's your day. It's the Super Bowl, and of course I'm here in Massachusetts, so it's the Patriots. I'm not a big sports fan, so but I'm obviously looking to see that the Patriots win. So I've had an interesting week, like a bit of everything. It felt like a bit of the weather, sort of different things going on. My daytime job has got busier. I'm also changing where I put my butt. So I'm going back to an old state hospital and spending a bit more time there. So I have to go in with lots of dragons. Actually, I had a few. I've talked before. I have some younger dragons that Merlin is working with, and because they come with me, of course. I'm reminded that a lot of these are orphan dragons, and that apparently is my specialty. Is that I'm the mother of dragons, but I'm the mother of orphan dragons. That's why Merlin's telling me, oh, that's why they're so unruly. But they're getting better and they're getting a lot of practice in. So they came with me and they spent all day Friday. I told them they could go and do whatever they needed to do to clear up some of the dark energy, because all of these state hospitals hold a lot of very dark energy, a lot of sadness. In the past I've shared pictures when it's been warmer, when I've walked around the grounds, and I always feel like there's a million eyes looking at me. I'm sure there's a lot of lost souls as well there. So that might be something that if you follow Lara Star, there's a lost soul rescue which happens weekly. I actually did a self-clearing, not last week, the week before, and this week I did a clearing for my son, and that was really very encouraging. I've shared before that my younger son, we did, or probably a few months ago, Lara and her team did a clearing, and there was a lot of negative stuff around him, his room, everywhere. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that needed restoring. We've started doing a lot more I'm top up with my spiritual hygiene, but also clearing the house, like cleaning, not just cleaning, but I've been using sage and high vibrational music, which I would 100% say has made a huge difference. So when I did a clearing this time, there was very little attached to him, very little activity, and a lot of that has been him being able to ground himself much better, to do and it's not every night, but for quite a few weeks he was putting on high vibe music, so that raised the vibration during the night. Recently he's got a couple of very large dragons, because they kept telling me nobody's going to touch him if the dragons are around him. So he's actually now met a couple of very large dragons, and these younger dragons also have said they're coming anytime. So actually, just before I came on here, I had a conversation with Merlin, my son, because Merlin said, I don't need to work with him, but I'm working with the dragons, and they're going to set up a way that he can sort of give them a sort of just call them in so they can come in. One of the things they picked up for him is that he's right now, his essence is sort of stuck in the dinosaur age or the caveman age, because he keeps talking a lot about dinosaurs, and they're not real dinosaurs. They very clear, my guides told me, and the dragons told me, they were pretending to be something else. So this happens. So I'm having a really big learning experience. Again, the dragons always teach me such wonderful lessons, and I'm also connecting with my Palladian and my Lyran soul team, who are also teaching me things, as are my gatekeepers, who work with me to keep me protected all the time. And I think I shared this last week, that when I was doing my self-clearing, I had asked if there was any dark contracts, dark patches, etc. And the response was, you do know she's got dragons, right? Nobody's coming near me with those dragons. So it was a reminder for me that when we do work with dragons, we're tapping into a very high frequency, and dragons don't really lower their vibration. Maybe a little bit, but they can't come right down to 3D, 4D. Most of mine are like 12. They're telling me above 12D, because I also have a lot of galactic dragons. Not surprising, I've got galactic guides, I have galactic dragon. Some of this is making so much sense. When I first started connecting with dragons, I didn't understand why I was being pulled to the galactic dragons, the galactic realms. I learned a lot from them about the stars and how they travel, and I now understand why. So sometimes there's patience, which as humans we're not always patient. We want the answers now. I want to understand now. But if you can be patient, it will happen. It's a bit like karma. I often tell people you need to be patient with karma, because it isn't instant. Sometimes it is, but eventually it will come back and bite the other people. So I've been using this wonderful deck here that I think all of you have seen, and this was interesting. I posted a card earlier today, but this one came out, which was Dragon Healing, and they wanted me to say this is the theme for next week, is healing. So we dragons offer you healing to shift physical burdens. These are no longer present in your sacred life. Your body, your cells, your energy now shifts and aligns with a form manifesting only well-being. So I think for a lot of us, we're here in it, for a lot of people, we're in the colder part of the country, and those aches and pains get activated, especially if you have arthritis. I've certainly been experiencing that. So we're going to be focusing in on dragon healing, and this deck jumped out at me, which is Kyle Gray's Raise Your Vibration, because I think what is really important is that we understand that we need to raise our vibration up so that we get above the frequency that the darker energies can actually get to us. So, excuse me, that's why they're saying they're bringing in their healing for this week. And they want you, if you're watching this, it's because you need to raise your vibration. And that's very easy to do. Really, all you have to do is ground yourself. All right. I think I say this every week, but grounding is what connects us to Mother Gaia. If you want more connection with the galactics, I have been not just grounding myself, I've been putting roots up out into the galaxies, so that we've got, even though we've got a connection, they're showing me it's like an antenna we have, but if you also bring roots out from the top of your crown, it's going to increase the frequencies that come in. That's what they're telling me. So I haven't used this deck for probably a year or so. So it's Kyle Gray's Raise Your Vibration. So let's see. There's 1, 2, and 3. Oh, nice. So the first one is facing my shadow removes darkness from the world. I know it's backwards when you see this, but you can see the color, right? These are the earth colors. Facing my shadow removes darkness from the world. And it does, as I often have said on here, as we heal, we're healing so many more. And also, so I'm also reminded that if you've been watching the Peace Walk from Texas to Washington, D.C., the Venerable Monks, that comes to a conclusion this week, where they're going to be in Washington, D.C. in a few more days. And then they will take a bus back to Texas. It's okay to feel what you need to feel. So again, if we give ourselves permission to feel, it also allows us to let go of a lot of things that we're holding on to. It's a human thing that we do, which is we feel like we have to hold on to it, and really holding on to it, it's a bit like it just festers, is what I'm hearing. They're not showing me a very nice description, but if you don't move this stuck energy out of you, like facing your shadow, that's what's going to happen, right? It festers, then you get stuck. So grounding, feel your feelings and let the negative ones go. And then the last card is I am protected by Source. So again, we know if we ground ourselves, we will connect much higher. And I do encourage you to find a routine that you can simply ground yourself. Again, where I live, going out barefoot is not a thing to do. I couldn't even get to a tree right now because the snow is literally more than halfway up some of the bigger trees around here. So that's not going to happen anytime soon here. But I usually take off my shoes and socks, even if I don't put my feet on the ground, because I like to feel my roots going down. I like to feel the roots coming out the top of my head. I like to feel the roots coming out of my chakras and grounding me. So whatever you can do all helps, and you can build it up. You don't have to spend an hour doing it. It's the intention that counts. And especially for people that work in anywhere where you're connecting, if you're encountering people, which most of us do every day, it really is important that you are grounded, because so many people aren't and they don't know it. So we've got the angelic frequencies here. You are safe, and there's a potent connection. So this is the gateway of light activation. So these are angelic frequencies, which actually counteracts the shadows, which is nice. Akashic records, clearing old stories, releasing the past, freedom. So that's exactly what I just said when I was talking about being protected. I don't know what cards are coming out. Honestly, I don't. And this last one, higher heart activation, dropping shields, divine love, your heart is healed. So also, I have to remember that next Saturday is Valentine's Day. And even if you don't have a love or somebody in your life, you can still celebrate yourself. I think it's really important to, we need to give ourselves what we don't get elsewhere. And it also puts out a message to the universe. So this one wants to come out. This is Kali, endings and beginnings. Kali Ma. The old must be released so that the new can enter. I can't make this stuff up. Literally. We've got dragon healing and all of this. Mart, fairness. This situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. I like that. Very positive. And Maeve, cycles and rhythms. Honor the cycles of your body, energy levels and emotions. So they're pretty powerful this week. What other ones do? What am I drawn to? I feel like I need another. Oh, the Divine Feminine. This was literally sitting down here. It feels more about. This is by Megan Watterson, the Divine Feminine Oracle. Again, I don't think I've actually used this very much. Sometimes, like a lot of us, we think we're not going to have a lot of oracle cards, and then we find ourselves with a lot. When I was doing more readings than I've been doing, or when I used to do Dina and I used to do some readings that people used to come to, I would get told, take that deck out that's in the drawer, not the ones I'd chosen. So I'm going to 3 of these, the Divine Feminine. Let's see what they have to tell us. Oh. This is interesting with the Kali card. Pope Joan, the pontiff of possibilities. The possibilities are limitless because the soul is limitless. So I was going to put this down with this card, which is Kali. I probably should do some of the Kali cards because they're very interesting. So Pope Joan, then Eridine, mistress of the labyrinth. My soul knows the way, and the only way is through. So that's for people that are going through any difficulties. And this, I've also got this under that it's okay to feel what you need to feel. Higher heart activation and Maeve. And this Saraswati, the goddess of self-knowledge, the essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. So lots of I statements and I am. I almost fear that that's sort of doing this. Can you see that? It was like very sort of focus, unfocus. Wasn't the camera. The goddess of self-knowledge, the essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. So it's also a reminder to use I statements. That was something that when I asked what was, I often pick some words or statements for the year, and I am came up again. I had that a few years ago. So I am peace, I am hope, I am grace, and I am softness. And I think for a lot of us, we really need to bring in that softer part of ourselves. I have a dragon, a white feathered dragon, who, even though she's been with me for a very long time, I've only recently become aware of her, and she's one of my gatekeeper dragons. And then I also have a black rainbow obsidian dragon. His name's Sealy, and the white one is Peace. And I thought that was interesting. That was the name she chose for herself because she brings in the peacefulness for me. And it was after I chose Peace as I am Peace. And they show me every day that they blend their energies. They literally show me that they do this with their energies, and they incorporate that into me. So I'm balanced with divine masculine and divine feminine. And I think we can all do that. There's this card about facing my shadows. There's the darkness and the light. One of the messages I got from them was about that they work with me to balance out that the light, the dark, the scared child, all of those sort of, we get the opposites. So it's nice to know that we're balanced. So that was what came through with those. I will take a picture of these and I will put them on my Facebook page. If you want to find me, you can connect to it. I have a private Facebook group, and then you can connect to me on Facebook with my name. You can go to my website, which is www.eastcoastdragonlady.com, and you can connect with that Facebook group that way, or send me an email, which is eastcoastdragonlady@gmail.com. And then I need to be friends on Facebook before I can invite you, or you can just get linked to that. So let me know if you want to do that. I've been posting things that have inspired me. Adriana Garay, say her name. She was the one that helped me connect with my soul guides. She is extremely busy, but is well worth the wait to connect with her. So there's that. So I think that's all I have today. At least the sun's come out. It's still extremely cold, but the sun's come out. I'm hoping no snow until I get my new snow shovel. I felt a little bit handicapped today not having a snow shovel, because when they were here clearing off my roof, they borrowed my shovel, I guess, and it didn't come back. I hoped all week that somebody would just kindly bring it back. But I ordered off Amazon and it's not due till next week, not due to next weekend, I think. And the snow has messed up all the deliveries. So if you want to connect with me, please reach out. I do have offers on my website. I do have a 45-minute connection call. I call it a clarity call, because we can always talk about what you need, what can I offer, and do our energies connect. I am working on a few things, and I'm certainly talking with Dina about doing some collaborative work, maybe some mediumship, maybe we're doing something around portals. There's a few things going on. So I will let you know when we have made a decision and on what we're offering. So I hope everybody has a good week, and I will see you next weekend.